old man. There is no substitution for hard work.
There you go. So that's the tip of the day.
And here's the fact, Jack. You've got what I'm looking for. So I'll tell you what. How'd you like to become part of the FBI? We're the best. What do you say? What do you say now? Come on. You want to be a champion, or you want to be like
Major decision, 14-4.
That's great.
All right. So we made it finally.
We made it.
Listen, it was a task, but we did it.
It usually is, right?
Listen, I'm not a computer guy. All I know is you turn it and it works, right?
I'm glad you got it. So this
All
is my co-host Mikey. So Mikey was he was my manager at NYU when I wrestled for NYU. So he was he did everything. So I trust him with a lot of things, especially the computer stuff, because I know how it can be.
Why don't you put him in the ring?
Oh, he's tried.
Well, he can do it.
Yeah, he said he wants to wrestle
He's got
you.
a Samoan gimmick there. We can use him. Well, yeah.
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 So Mikey,
We throw him under a hood.
yeah. So Mikey, this is the newest member of the FBI, Mr. John Cena Sr. Mr. Cena, how you doing today?
I'm doing fabulous. How about yourself?
Oh, doing great, doing great. It's almost amateur wrestling season here in Jersey, so all the boys are excited. They're getting their weights down, and yeah, it's a fun time.
My son Matthew used to wrestle in high school, and I used to hate it when he had to get his weight down because he was too thin. I don't know why the coaches do that, but coach, I'm not going to give any BS. I'll listen to what you have to say.
Yeah, it's a miserable time, right? When they have to lose weight because everyone's cranky. You got to hide the food in the house, right?
Yeah, but you know what? He was 190. They brought him down to 170. That's just too much. And then, I mean, he was good at what he did, but if they left him at 185, 190, he probably would have gone a long way.
Yeah. You know, it's funny. You cut weight and the other guys cut weight. And it's funny. If we just stayed the same weight, we would have wrestled each other anyway instead of dropping.
Good. Yeah. As the Frenchman says, it would have been more better. You wouldn't have any problems.
Yeah, it would have been a happier time, right?
I don't know about you guys. I don't know what you're on, but to hell with it.
I've never thought about it like that, right? If everybody just stayed the same weight, they'd all just wrestle anyway. That's the crazy part about it. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
Well, see, he put you through all that stuff for nothing, and now you're in the ring doing the real stuff.
Yeah, now we're doing the real stuff, Mikey. That's what we do.
Indeed, yeah.
Yeah, that's gonna be your new get. You're gonna be the Samoan Mikey Cutz. That's
Samoan Mikey Cole.
Yes.
Yeah.
Introducing all the way from Samoa, the newest member of the FBI. The Samoan slices his game. Killing people is his name. We want to welcome from the Samoan Islands, Tony Bada Boom Cutz.
Couldn't have said it better.
Now I see where they pay you to do the announcing.
Nah, we're gonna put you in the ring. Come on, we'll manage. We'll let you manage.
Yeah. Yep.
You can take me out and replace me. How's that?
Yeah. So Mr. Zena, let me tell you about what we did a couple weeks ago, Mikey. Mr. Zena was our leader. He was the leader of the FBI, and I'm telling you, he ran that whole show. You were running, to the ring, back to the ring. It was great. Cutting promos on the fly. It was great.
Oh man.
They were on the fly. You're right about that.
Oh,
It's like, holy shit, what do we say now?
and it just came, right? One take. That's all it took for you. One take.
That's crazy.
I hope they put those up. Some of those are really good.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm not saying I'm good. They just fitted the match. It was perfect.
Yeah.
And when you feel the moment, then it's so easy to make it work.
Yep.
And then I'm Italian. If you tied my hands, I wouldn't be able to talk. It's like
that's the Italian in you, right?
Yeah.
That's it. 100%.
So he was cutting a promo, and he just started speaking Italian just like that. It was great. It was fantastic.
Is there like a science to or an art form to your improvisation?
No, you know what it is? Like I say, when you're in the zone, so they say to you, I want you to cut a promo on. I did a promo for that show. Did you see the promo I cut for the show? I had my girlfriend Holden Moniz she said, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? I said, hey, just shut up. Leave me alone. I'm going to figure this out over here. So I had a skeleton thing set up out front. I held the light under my face, and it said, boom, boom, boom. Ooh. So I started. Tonight, it won't be trick or treat. It'll be the Vegas. And it was just when you're in, you're in. And it's so much easier. When you got two good guys, and I did, Nunzio and Jay, we had a great time. They were all part of it. And without their help, I don't think I could have done it because they, no, really and truly, my friend, you motivated me to get in there and do what we had to do. Otherwise, it would have been, okay, what the hell do I do now? But no, it just comes. I even rap sometimes in the ring. I was going to do that at Franklin. I said, I'm going to have trouble already.
Yeah, us Italians, we're not known for our rapping, right?
Well, we're going to be. We're going to tell you a story, and it's kind of balmy. Just remember, Nunzio, he likes salami. Don't get nervous, girls. I'm going to tell you it's true. A salami's good. It might be good for you. Now, Jay's over there wondering what to do. He said, hey, I'm the Irishman, not the Jew. I don't know what the hell we're going to do. I'm going to say, listen, Jay, it's going to be fun. Me, you, and Nunzio going to go bang, bang, bang. Take him out like that. Bada bing, bada boom, bada gan.
And there it is. That gets the people going. So you said one of your sons wrestled. Did your other sons wrestle or
no? Matthew, my son Matthew was the only one that did the wrestling. Okay. He was good. Matter of fact, this is one of his little things that they gave him. It was the St. Christopher thing, I guess. And I got a few other things, a lighter and some other stuff for his wrestling. I say the kid was good. He started training with John. John was already in the business, and he started training at Chaotic. Mm-hmm. I don't know what happened there, but he stopped. Mm-hmm. It would have been a great gimmick to have the two brothers. Would have been good.
Oh, definitely.
Even John never wrestled.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
He played football, though, right?
What's that?
He played football, though, right?
Yes, he did play football.
Yeah.
He played football for Cushing Academy, and he played for Springfield College, where he graduated from.
Oh, great.
His intention was never to be a wrestler. His intention was to get into the health, fitness, and nutrition business. But I guess, like he says in the DVD, I had enough of the old man. So I remember taking him to Logan Airport, and I gave him a silver dollar. Mm-hmm. And he said, what's this for? I said, so you can get back home. You'll never make it. Well, guess what? Just a persuasion, a little Italian persuasion. Don't come back home. I don't want to see you. That's it.
And then he gave you the silver dollar, right?
Yeah, and he dragged you.
Who the hell is, someday I'm going to ask him if he still got it. That was a real piece of silver dollar. That had to be worth $250. And he lied to me. I said, you got a place to sleep? Yep. Where are you going to be working? Gold's Gym. You sure everything's all set? Yep. The guy that owns Gold's Gym, he's all set. He's got a room. Little did I know that this kid was sleeping in his car, working 80 hours a week at Gold's Gym, living off of power bars, showering at the gym. And that's when Smelly and his brother, the Basham brothers, they saw him. And they asked me if I'd been in professional wrestling. And he said, no, the old man used to promote it. Because I'm second generation. I was promoter. So I get a call from him, and he goes, hey, just want to let you know I made it. I said, oh, really? He said, I got a second job. I said, oh, what are you doing now? He said, I'm going to be a professional wrestler. And I'll tell you what I did. Yeah, right. Yeah, right. Okay, sure. And he said, I'm in California with UPW. I said, good. Give me some time to save some money. By the end of the month, I'm going out there. Sure enough, there he was. And he was out there with Samoa Joe, Randy Orton. I think Dave Bautista might have been out there. Victoria. Was crazy. But that was that nutty shit. They had him with light bulbs and fluorescent tubes.
He was trained by Rip, right? Rip Rogers. That's who helped me out a couple times. Rip Rogers. He trained me a couple of times. Him and Damian Adams. But yeah, that OVW, man, back then it was some great stuff.
OVW, when he was down to OVW in Kentucky, I remember we drove because I didn't know he was living. He said, well, I'm going to fly you guys out here to California, and we're going to drive to Kentucky. Now, me, like I said, you push a button, it goes. So here we are on a truck. We're driving out there. We get there, and we fly out. He's got we had a U-Haul. We had to get it back, and I didn't realize he was living in Crompton.
Uh-huh.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. You know what? Nothing but respect for those people, and nothing but respect for my son, because they had mutual respect for everybody. The one thing, and I'll tell you, I don't know how you sleep there when all you hear is bang, bang, boom. I just feel so bad. And I said to him, I said, how did you do it for 2 years, a year, whatever it was? He said, Dad, we just gained mutual respect for each other. We helped each other out. And, I said to him, I said, this is a great little story because it proves that no matter who or what or color you are, if you decide to work together, you can accomplish anything. Mm-hmm. And it was crazy. I mean, I just couldn't believe it. And he had a habit of wherever he lived, he left a pair of his sneakers.
Oh, that's awesome.
Well, but here's what happened. So he got a little pissed because we're driving, and Mitch goes, by the way, those sneakers that you left in the closet, I put them in the truck. Not good. No.
Yeah. Yeah. And you talk about the importance of a group. That sounds like a solid group. I know you mentioned the Basham brothers, but even Smelly, Mark Bell. I know Mark Bell pretty well.
Mark Bell, yep.
Yeah, my strength coach is good friends with him, and he's been taking off ever since too, like with his fitness industry and everything.
Bell is good. And I think it was it Smelly, and what was his brother's name? He passed away.
Yeah, I forgot his brother's name.
Were they the Bell brothers? Were they Bell, not Basham? Bell, right?
Oh, yeah.
So It's my fault. Wrong name.
Yeah.
But those are the two guys that saw him working out.
Yeah. Wow.
Is it often? So you mentioned that Dave Bautista and Randy Orton were working with John even all the way back then when he was just beginning.
Yeah.
Like, is it normal for people to, level up together per se, all the way up to like the highest levels? Do they usually see each other at the lower levels like that frequently?
And then they move up, because what happened is they went from UPW down to OVW. Then when I get to because I didn't believe it was there either, in Kentucky. Mm-hmm. Only thing you do in Kentucky at night is you pick up your girl, you go to Walmart, buy a hot dog, and do turkey shoot. That's what you do in Kentucky. That's all you do in Kentucky.
Don't forget the whiskey and the bourbon.
I don't know. All I know is there was a line at that turkey shoot. And I said, John, what's the deal? They're on a date. They're waiting in line so they can use the machine. That's it. I mean, a lot of good restaurants in Kentucky, a lot of wonderful people, too.
Yeah.
But down in OVW, when I went down there, Danny Davis and Jim Cornette were running that.
Yeah.
And there was Batista. He was Leviathan, which I think was one of the greatest gimmicks going. He was great at that. Victoria was there. I think Orton, one of Brock Lesnar was down there. I had the opportunity to meet, God rest his soul, Chris Benoit was down there. But it was a tight group. And then it was interesting to see Rico was the first guy to get called up because he was tag team with John. Kenny Bolin managed all those guys, and then it was Cena, and then Dave comes up, and then it's just amazing how that group kind of stuck together. They all started here, and they all ended up here.
Yeah, it's a team effort, especially there, Mikey. It was back then. It was kind of like NXT now. It was the developmental. So all those guys were hungry. They were just failure wasn't an option,
And boy, did they succeed. I mean, like, looking at them now, like, they're rivals with each other in WWE, and they've been, like, the kings of the sport for the past, like, decade. Like, me personally, I'm not super into professional wrestling, but I've heard of John Cena, Dave Bautista, right? Randy Orton. During football practice, kids would Randy Orton each other, right? We see Dave Bautista in the Marvel movies now. John Cena is still like a WWE champion. You see
everyone do a like NBA play.
Everyone says, I can't see
Everybody does that. Everybody, and when they see me, they go, hey, how you doing, Mr. Cena? Oh, by the way, I can't see you. And then when they see me, they go, hey, I know you. I say, oh, and some people I don't know. I say, oh, you do? And they say, yeah. I said, well, how do you know me? You're the guy that Randy Orton kicked in the head.
Yeah.
You're the guy that Randy Orton kicked in the head. That's it.
Whose idea was it? Who came up with the idea for Randy Orton to attack you?
It had to be McMahon. It had to be Vince, because sometimes, and I nothing but good words for Vince McMahon. One of the greatest of the great in this business. I'll tell you, people should respect him more and not give him as much crap. Because he's a genius. He's a genius. Might not like the way he does things, but results are what count. What's best for business. That was a real, I don't know, I guess you might call it a screw up, but all I got to tell you is that kick was for real. So when people say to me it's fake, I said, look, do me a favor. Why don't you get your hands and knees? Let me give you a kick. I'll show you how fake it really is. Yeah.
He still got the footprint on his head, right?
6 stitches right here, my friend. Right there.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, we went over that a couple of times, and I remember, God rest his soul, I was talking to Dusty Rhodes back there, and I said, Dusty, I really kind of worried about this. I never did. Don't, Mr. Thieves, don't worry about nothing. I'm the son of a plumber. I'm telling you right now, son, you got nothing to worry about. You're going to be okay. I was okay, all right. I was KO'd, not okay, KO'd. You got to watch that on YouTube. I now I know how the Patriots football feels. I mean, the Patriots are losers anyway, so we got to take that. But when he connected, it looks like he slowed down, but then he came right in. And I mean, I was out. I was just, and I woke up with blood all over my shirt, my jacket. It was fun. It was fun.
Did John have any words for him afterwards?
I'm sorry?
Did John have any words for him afterwards?
No. I knew I kind of got, I guess I kind of knew I took one for the team because I went to the famous Kowloon in Saugus, one of my favorite places to go. And if you're up this way, we're going to go. But Stinsky was there and a couple of other wrestlers. Randy Orton was there with his, I guess then, future girl or wife. And he just came over and said, hi. And Stinsky came over and gave me a handshake. He said, hey, pal, thanks for taking one for the team. I felt like saying, if I knew that shit was going to happen, I wouldn't have taken one for the team. Believe me.
John was probably like, lay it in there.
Lay it in.
Yeah, you know what? Even
I
when
still got the silver dollar.
Yeah, it was like getting even. See, when I wrestled Orton for the main event, remember that on Raw? I swear they had a pact. No kidding. Because when Orton was coming in, I could see John going, he's supposed to be handcuffed, and I'm going, he's hoping he can dex me. I know he is. And then when he did the RKO, I said, I'm supposed to be a belly bump, but you know what? I'm just going to take it easy on this. I'm afraid he's going to let go. So, but it was fun. Randy's a great guy to work with. He really is. His father's a hot ticket too. He's a great guy.
Yeah. And but you talk about parenting advice. What was some like parenting advice you gave your kids while they were growing up, and all that good stuff? Because that's a big thing, especially with parents. Parents of athletes, right? You talk about, you gave him advice and he went the opposite way and didn't listen. I deal with that a lot, especially coaching a lot of high school athletes.
I think the trouble today is, and I really mean this, I was kind of a strict father. I'm going to be honest. I made a big change in my life after when the divorce came about. I had a temper that would probably set a house on fire. But I always told my sons that in order to survive in life, you have to respect people, number one. First, respect yourself, and then you'll gain respect from others. Respect is important. And I'm not trying to steal anything from John Jr., nothing. And I always said to them, when I started out at 12 years old shining shoes, I worked my way from the bottom to the top. Never forget who holds the ladder when you climb that ladder. Work hard at what you do and don't be afraid to work hard. And I always said to them, and don't be afraid if you make a mistake or if you fail, because there's no such thing as failure. There's only such thing as a lesson. You learn and you only get better. So you never fail. You just grow. So it was respect, hard work, be proud of who you are and what you are, and don't be afraid to go out and work. And if you make a mistake, go forward. No sense going backward. It's better to look at the mountain and climb halfway and come back down than to look at the mountain and say, I don't think I can do it. So at least you tried. If you didn't climb it, you got halfway, there must be another way to get to the top. So those are the kind of things I spoke to them about. Always pay attention, work hard. Don't let anybody be pushed around. Don't push anybody around. So those are the kind of things that I worked at. Respect. I guess when you come right down to it, hustle, loyalty, and respect, those are his words. And I guess he did learn something.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not trying to take anything away from him, but I hustled all my life to get where I got. Nobody picked me up and said, John, we're going to give you this. I worked for it. And, all my sons have done the same thing. I always respected my parents. That's important. You only have one set of parents. And I've learned one thing and my dad, God rest his soul, he'd say to me in English, I'll translate. He said, "Do you think that I'm giving you this advice because I want to hear myself talk? I'm doing this because I've been through it. I don't want you to make the same errors or mistakes that I made." And so my boys listened halfway, I guess. They're like most kids. Sometimes they give you the FBI thing. Bye, see you later, Pa. You're all done. Yeah, I'm moving. See you later. But thank you, God, they all turned out good. And I learned a big lesson. And I grew up a lot. So I guess out of a terrible situation comes some good things. But that's the kind of stuff I talk to him about. Matt was kind of hard on himself when he lost the wrestling matches. But I'd always say to him, I said, Matt, you went out and you gave it 100%. You respected your opponent. And that's key. You did your best. What else can you do? Nothing.
Yeah, definitely.
That's about it.
Yeah. So me and Mikey had this argument last week about the difference between, Boston and New York fans. And did you kind of grow up in the New England area your whole life? Are you from there?
Yeah. I've been in New England all my life. Yep.
Yeah. So I told him that the Boston fans are different from the New York fans because they're both passionate. But the thing with Boston is they only have one set of teams. You have the Red Sox, you have the Patriots. New York has a whole bunch. You got the Jets and the Giants. So I was explaining the Bills, yeah. So I was explaining to him that like how passionate just like the whole New England area is about their sports teams. So is that something that you kind of grew up with since you were from the area your whole life?
And I'll be real honest with you. I don't follow a whole lot of sports. Monique's my girlfriend. She's into football. Mm-hmm. She loves football. She's from Brooklyn, New York, by the way.
Hey, there
you go. See. Okay. That's the way it is. So myself, I can tell you this. My aunts and uncles and my own sons, let's use them, very passionate about the sports that they're connected to. My son, Daniel, very passionate about the Bruins and the Celtics. John about the Patriots and the Red Sox. My son Sean, I was down the Patriots. I said, look, the Bruins can't even see the puck, let alone hit it, right? Yeah. No, they're great, man. Oh man, shit, I had 5 of them in here. Let me tell you, I gave a lot of stuff and I took a lot of stuff. But yes, New England fans are very passionate. That's why when you're a heel, the easiest way to get to New England is through their team. You don't even have to berate the team. See what we did in Franklin? I just said, you're just like your regular sports team. Every one of you. You're all losers. That was it. Bingo. The FBI hit right to the point. We got him. We got him. That was it.
Yep.
But that's right. Fans are very, very passionate about their sports. Believe me when I tell you.
Oh, I believe it.
Badmouth the Red Sox.
Hey, I've dealt with it. I was telling Ray last week. I've dealt with it personally. We went to Boston once for a Yankees Red Sox game. We're from New York. We're Yankees fans, right? We went to Fenway. The Yankees, I don't remember if I'm pretty sure they lost. I'm pretty sure I remember just them losing all the time I went until I was in college. We were leaving the stadium and we were getting jeered because I had a Yankees cap on. We were getting jeered by Boston fans. And there was one guy, he was like in his mid-20s. He poured beer on me. And I was like 12 years old, if not younger. Yeah.
Gotta love the Boston fans.
Huh? Yeah. Next time we do the FBI, I'll see if I can find a Yankee shirt. Have one of you wear it. That'll do.
Yeah.
We don't have to say a word. Just walk in there with a Yankee shirt on. Ain't gonna be me. Maybe we might have Nunzio do it. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, we'll throw it on him. He'll gladly do it.
They're very passionate. I even knocked the Patriots with my own sons. I said, look, you're supposed to have a fabulous football team. Look, they can't even win a friggin' game. Oh well, I don't really care.
So I'm gonna say this because I know Ray just saw the Raiders play the Giants. That terrible game. But Josh McDaniels, their coach, he used to be the offensive coordinator for the Patriots.
Yep.
Antonio Pierce, the former linebacker for the Giants, right? He ended up being the interim head coach for the Raiders. Josh McDaniels was having a locker room meeting, and he called Pearson to speak, right? He's like, hey, assistant coach, you want to have a turn talking. And Antonio Pierce just talked about how, the 07 Giants, we believed in ourselves, even against the juggernaut that was the 07 Patriots with, Tom Brady, Randy Moss. We believed in ourselves. We thought no matter what, we could still beat them. Doesn't matter that they're 6-0, we could still beat them. 7-0, we could still beat them. After the meeting, everybody was fine. They were like, they're all pumped, like, yeah, we're gonna win, we can win. After the meeting, Josh McDaniels reportedly took him into the office and said, "Don't you ever talk about the Patriots like that. Don't you ever talk about the Patriots." And it's like, bro, like, how can you be like, that's not what that talk was about. He wasn't disparaging them. He wasn't trying to talk shit about them. He was trying to elevate the team like, hey, this is a comparison. Even though there's this big juggernaut, the undefeated Patriots, the Giants still believe they could win. That's the message. Not, yeah, those Patriots sucked,
Just between you and I, they're like lollipops. They do suck. So, like, what can I say?
Well, that's a loyalty right there.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Wow, we'll see what happens.
It's just next level.
So, Mr. Cena, you said you used to be a promoter, right?
I did. What I used to do.
How did you get in the industry?
Was if you wanted a wrestling show, I would get all the information, give it to Abe Ford out of Boston, get the tickets, get the posters, and put it all together. And so that's what I used to do. I worked with some of the greats in the business, and who am I but a little guy that was watching TV? Same thing. I'm honored to be able to work with some of the guys I work with now. I had Strongbow there, Freddie Blassie was there, the Grand Wizard, Stan Stasiak was there. I just had so much fun. But that's what I used to do. And my job was, after you sold the tickets, we all went in the little room and counted it, put it in the bag, and make sure it went right to the big boy. Yeah, that was
sure.
Pay all the wrestlers. That's key. Pay the wrestlers. That's one thing when I used to promote and help with it. That's one thing that we always did, was make sure the boys and the women always got paid first. Then what was left, tough shit. If we lost money, we lost money. But it's always a paid show, so you didn't have to worry about that. But if you had one of your own, you always made sure you took care of the boys or the women in the back, because that's the backbone. Once you screw up on that, or your name gets out there that you didn't pay, you're done. You're done.
Yeah, forget about it. Forget about it.
But that's what's happening today. A lot of the promoters, I don't think they have a whole lot of respect for the young men and women, or the men and women that work in this business. They have to understand that, we love what we do, but at the same time, you want to be reimbursed for what you do. And I'm not knocking promoters, because God knows their job is hard enough. For the few bad ones out there, they make it bad for everyone. We've all worked for them before. John, I'm sorry. I know I promised you. Let's use this, $50, but it's a bad show. Here's $25. Wait a minute. I had one guy with me that was a referee, Bobby. He refereed 7 matches. They promised him $75. I said, come on, Bob, I'll buy a hamburger. He said, nah, I'll buy. We'll stop at Friendly's. Open the envelope, $25. See, that's the kind of stuff that hurts you and I as performers, and it kills the promoters who are honest, who will pay the boys and take the loss, or go to the ATM and get the money so you make sure you get paid. Mm-hmm. It's tough, but it was fun. It was enjoyable, because I got to meet a lot of men and women that I never would have come across in my whole life. The Grand Wizard passed away. Handsome Jimmy Valiant. I look at him now. You've seen a picture of him now. He's a great ad for Slim Fast. I'm only kidding, Jimmy. Only kidding. But he was jacked then. Remember? He was jacked. And
was that when he was the Boogie Woogie Man?
That's right.
Yeah,
Stasiak had the hot punch.
Yeah.
Remember that? I remember running a show for North Shore Community College, and Stasiak came out and he put the tape on the pad of the ring. So it's coming time for the hot punch. Had to be a 70-year-old woman runs up and steals the tape. It starts giving him the F-bombs. Yeah. So he just did it anyway. But it was fun. I had an opportunity, and it was just fun. Then after I get married and the kids started coming along, I said, I can't do this. I've got to, get another job, help things out, and make things work. And then after the divorce, obviously, it was kind of tough, and for me, and I guess my kids and my ex-wife, I suppose, my former spouse. But I was just, okay, so life's here. But you got to come back. That's the key. So They were looking for a ring announcer. I tried out. They said, great voice. It was Knuckle Nelson from Star Wars Wrestling, and great guy. And he said, no, I got somebody for the job. I said, okay, fine, no problem. He said, no, but I need a heel manager. What a gift from God, right? Right time, right place.
Just when you thought you were out, they pulled you back in.
I never gave up. Never gave up. Never quit. Keep going forward.
Yeah. So
how did you come up with the name Johnny Fabulous?
Well, we're sitting there, and I said to him, I said, if I'm going to do this, and I'm going to be this mean SOB, which I really was when I made the Miss New Hampshire cry. That's how bad I was. I remember in Sturbridge, Mass. I think I told you I was knocking Sturbridge, Mass. And I'm walking around the ring. There's no barriers, and I was telling them the only thing that smells worse than the porta potties on 128 is Sturbridge. So I'm walking around, and this woman had to be 73, 74, and she looked at me and she said, "If you don't like effing Sturbridge, get the F out." Pulled out her teeth, threw them at me, and tossed a beer in my face. I go, okay, all right. So that was fun. So I decided
right there.
but that means I did my job.
Yeah.
When Knuckles Nelson and I decided to come up with a character, I said the character has to be unique. What do people hate? They hate people with money. They hate people who are flamboyant, who are berative, who have everything that you wish you had. I have. So he said, okay, well, we can't use Johnny Cash. I said, nope. We can't use Johnny Money. That doesn't make sense. And I said, I don't know. We got to do something. He said, yeah, it's got to be Fabulous. Bingo.
Oh, yeah.
Johnny Fabulous was born. And then, of course, along came Vince McMahon, who got kind of upset because every time there'd be an indie show, would say John Cena. And I'd be on the poster, but for some reason, they expected my son to be on the indie show. Uh-huh. So we decided, or Vince decided, I'll tell you what I'm going to do, boy. I'm going to call you Senior. Got it? So John Cena Sr. was born, and we had a great time with that.
Yeah.
So that's how it goes.
So were you a fan growing up? Who was some of the guys? Did you watch wrestling growing up? Who was some of your guys?
Yes, I did. As a matter of fact, the great Gordon Soley, one of the best in the business for ring announcing. Next comes Howard Finkel, of course. But I used to watch. My grandfather was big on westerns. Mm-hmm. So every day at 10:30, the Lone Ranger and Hoppadong Quesadilla, he'd come on the television, So I get to watch wrestling from 9 to 10:30 with Gordon Soley. So some of the guys that I grew up watching and eventually get to work with, Walter Killer Kowalski. What a gentle giant. What a true, great human being. And I really mean that. People thought he was as mean in the ring as great human being. So I saw him. Haystacks Calhoun, Bruno Sammartino, one of my personal favorites.
Hey.
Yes, Pedro Morales. And Blackjack Mulligan. Hello, my name's Cowboy Bob Orton. I'd like to know if you want to have a little fight with me. So Bob Orton was there. And those are the guys that I grew up with when wrestling was wrestling. Before the Grand Wizard, who was Vince McMahon, let's say, parted the curtain and said, no, it's not real, it's entertainment. Because up until that point, you and I know I believed it was real. Mm-hmm. And it is real. Don't get me wrong. I don't want anybody out there to say, it's not. It is. I dare anybody to get in that ring for 5 minutes and do what you do.
Yeah.
And when we get the new Samoan in there, what he does. So,
I specifically remember I was in, I think, 6th or 7th grade when my school had brought in newspapers, right? And I remember reading the newspaper and seeing an excerpt. It was a column and it said Vince McMahon officially announces that, wrestling, it isn't real, right? Like the storylines are plotted out. And at the time that blew my mind. I was like, oh, wow, it's not real. When I just watched last night, it wasn't real. But to that point, I've also read how, back in the day, guys would take razors and cut themselves in the ring after they got punched to show, I'm bleeding. Like that's next level. That's not just, oh, that's fake. No, they really cut themselves with the razors, you know. And you got to be an athlete to do what they do. I mean, what was it? Who got paralyzed falling from the cage? Like, that obviously wasn't faked, right?
Well, there's incidents that happen, you know. It's real. It's real.
Yeah,
What
it's
we
real.
do in there, it's real. And it is showmanship. The razors, man, if you get punched hard enough, you'll bleed. You know, sometimes.
That's called the hard way, isn't it?
Yeah, the hard way.
It opened up the hard way. Yeah.
Yeah.
And a lot of those guys that did this with the blade, they had all that scar tissue, so it wasn't difficult. Like John Moxley, it's not too hard. Gusty Rhodes either had a lot of soft tissue, God rest his soul. As soon as you hit that enough times, you bust them open, and there it is, you know. So, and they still use those blades. I get very disgusted when I see somebody blade, and you openly can see him put it in there tight, throw it under the ring, or hand it off to the ref. Come on. You know what? It's tough enough trying to prove what it really is without somebody exploiting it even further. Because in the days of Kowalski, Haystacks, Calhoun, all those guys, there was something called kayfabe, which we don't have anymore. You would never see good guys and bad guys going to the Kowloon together. You'd never see that. They never sit in the same room together. They may be friends, but you'd never see that happen. So they made it believable. Mm-hmm. Today, I think people realize it's a soap opera. And the story, if it's done right, like we had that storyline in Franklin, if it wasn't for you guys doing what you did, the story would never have been complete. So we told the story, and it made sense. Mm-hmm. And that's what's missing today.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's kind of who got me in pro wrestling was Bob Backlund. Did you ever have any encounters with Bob?
I have nothing but good words to say about Mr. Backlund. I've done, I don't know how many signings with that guy, and the Chicken Wing Man.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, they should hire him for an ad. Hi, my name's Bob Backlund. I can put the chicken wing on anybody, but I'd rather put the chicken wing in Frank's hot sauce. That'd be a commercial. But sometimes, you think he's out there, but he's really got it all together. He eats a very healthy diet, very knowledgeable individual. I don't know how happy he was or is with the professional wrestling business, but a true gentleman. Oh, Moniz, how are you?
Can I go through?
You can walk through if you want.
Yeah.
You want me to go ahead? It's all right.
How you doing?
Say hi, Mo.
Hello.
Say hi to the people.
Maybe we'll bring it to the next show.
Yeah. She could be part of the FBI. Hey.
Oh no. From Brooklyn. No.
Oh, that's perfect.
And there's the next guy right there.
Yeah. But Bob was great. He always emphasized when I was doing, after I All-Americaned at NYU, I was doing a clinic in Brooklyn, in Midway, Brooklyn. And the coach there, he's an old school coach. He's been there for years. He was best friends with Bob. And Bob was there. And Bob was like, you ever think about doing this professionally? I go, oh, like, isn't it different now? He goes, no, but you can make the difference now. And he talked about, being real and, I'm a real wrestler. I'm an All-American. And he gave me all these tips starting out. So I was very, very grateful for him. I'll call him up every once in a while and let him know.
He's a great. I tried to get him on the show in Franklin. I told him to give him a call, but apparently nobody wanted to do it. I have nothing but good words to say because people kind of say, "Oh, he's way out there." No, he isn't. He's real. He's real, and what he says is real. I mean, take a look at what he's been through and how he's done it. And I'll tell you, whenever he comes to a signing, his table's always full. Great guy.
Yeah. He still does all
the red suspenders.
Yep, he always still does his push-ups, his squats, and his ab challenge and the stepper. He had me do the stepper with him.
You can't beat that man. It's like the Iron Sheik. Yeah. Nobody. All these guys are laughing. That's a gimmick. Anybody can get those clubs. Well, guess what? I saw these guys, big, strong men, trying to pick that up. They couldn't even get him off the floor. Never mind, get him up so they could twist him over their heads.
And Bob did it with ease.
Yeah, Bobby Backlund. Yeah, he's quite a guy. I'd like to work with him again. He's great.
Yeah, hopefully we get a hold of him. Yeah, and then get two new men. We got the Samoan and we got the Brooklyn girl in our corner too.
Oh, the Brooklyn girl in our corner. All right, there you go. You guys are on dope. I can tell right away. I don't. She's a good kid. She's all right. She when I first met her, she didn't like wrestling. Now I can't keep her away from the shows.
Oh, that's how it is, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. So, Mikey
I did have something. How did you end up becoming a minister for peace and ministering the marriages? What got you ranked up into that?
I've been doing Justice of the Peace now close to 17 years. I always wanted to marry people, to put people together. As a matter of fact, in my younger days, I spent a little time in a seminary. So, but that has nothing to do with the Justice of the Peace. So I was working for the city of Methuen. I was the chief assessor there, and Sharon Pollard was the mayor. And I said to her, Sharon, I always wanted to be a JP, but I wanted to be able to solemnize marriages. So she said to me, well, I live in West Newbury. She said the clerk in West Newbury is the JP, and in Massachusetts, they only allow so many JPs to solemnize marriages in the municipality. She was the only one. She didn't want to do it anymore. It was open. So she said, fill this out quick. I got a couple of judges that we can get it signed and have a state senator that will help out. And that's how I get involved in it. And I've been doing it ever since. It was fun. I love people. I love putting people together. I probably am one of the few justices who's refused to marry couples. I don't do it for the money. I do it because I have fun doing it. I laugh, I fool, I have fun, but we know when to be serious. And the reason I don't marry people, like refuse to marry people, is if you're not ready and I don't think you really mean this, I'm here to put you together for life. It's a life commitment. The average marriage lasts now 7 to 10 years. And now we're finding out that a lot of the marriages are being dissolved at age 65 to 70 because the kids are out of the nest. And what they're finding is they have nothing in common. So my job was, let's have some fun. Let's bring some people together and let's do some weddings. And that's how I got involved. It was something I always wanted to do. I have a lot of fun doing it. Just like playing Santa Claus. I start that pretty soon. So,
it's right around the corner.
I do. I'm booked from the 3rd through the 17th, 18th of December. So we have some fun. But that's how I got involved in doing JP work. I got to the point where I stopped using, people would say, oh, you use this standard. Now what I do is, because I want to personalize everything, it's your ceremony. I individually write each service for each couple. No two services are ever the same. Oh. And we have a lot of fun. We joke, we kid. I just did a wedding in Gloucester, and we come up with this idea that when I asked for the rings, the best man would go, I don't have any rings. Now we're in Gloucester at the Hemming Castle. There's a fence and there's the ocean. The maid of honor goes, hey, bro, I got you covered. I got the rings right here. And she took back and she really zinged those rings, and he went to catch them and they went right over the fence into the water. No, it was all part of the gimmick, because you should have seen there were 125 people. There was like, no. And I just went over. And so the best man goes, nah, I got you covered. So that's the kind of fun we have. That's my goal,
great.
To make people happy, to bring people together. And so a dream come true for me, for justice and peace. But that's why I wanted to do it.
Yeah, especially like weddings. That was probably great. They're probably all stressed out. It's probably a great moment.
You should see the look on their faces when she said, I got you covered, bro. And she really gunned those rings. And all I could see was 2 rings going this way. And because he was cool. Because he reached up and went pushed like this instead of catching, right over the fence, and you heard plop, plop. So I could have said plop, 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 fizz, fizz. Oh, well, the wedding's done. Goodbye. See you later. But we didn't. Everybody's going like, the best man came forward. I've even done themed wrestling. I did a wedding where when the wedding part, Howard Finkel, God rest his soul, was the master of ceremonies. And the wedding party came in as professional wrestlers. The bride and groom, he came in as Randy Macho Man Savage and Elizabeth. We had Ric Flair. We had Hulk Hogan, Hacksaw Jim Duggan. On the other side, we have Moolah, Wendy Richter. It was just great. It was fun. And then a lot of times they'll take the belts. I have some of John's belts, and we'll put them on the table. We won't tell people they're there. And I'll say, please join me in welcoming the new Mr. and Mrs. Jones. And they'll pick up the belts, and I'll say, now turn around, because the champs are here. And they'll walk down with those. Inevitably, excuse me, I say, you can do that. I'll come and get the belts, and we'll go. I usually take 100 pictures. Just click, not with me, the belts. People just got to have pictures with those belts. So I don't know. Maybe next time I'll say, no feet. Just give me the feet from the pictures with the belts. But that's the kind of fun I have. And that's really why I wanted to do it, because I really wanted to have something meaningful. My own marriage didn't work out after 34 years. So I don't know how much of a difference I've made. But I've been doing it 17 years. I know of only 5 that have failed out of 17.
Yeah, and that's a big thing, making the difference, and that's what I try to do, coaching a lot of these high school kids, is making the difference, being there and being that role model, and being a different coach. Like you said, it's all about having fun, especially in the grind of wrestling season. Like, if you can make practice a little bit fun, they enjoy it a lot more, and then they learn a lot more, and then they want to wrestle for you.
It's the same old story. I always say this. I always found my kids would work harder when I said, oh, there's a carrot at the end of the rod. Like, we'll go for ice cream, or we'll go out to Chinese food. They always seem to push harder, because nobody minds working hard, but everybody looks for that reward. And most of the time, in your case, Coach, the reward is thanks for doing a hell of a job. Thanks for going out there and doing what you do best. Even though it might not have happened the way you wanted, thanks. And that means a lot to the young men and women who are out there trying to do what they want to do. And that's so important, and I think if more people, even parents, should realize that. Parents today are doing the best they can, but they don't spend enough time with their kids. And that's a sad thing, because that's what kids are looking for.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, especially life nowadays. Everything seems a bit crazier than all the other.
I mean, it seems nowadays a lot of times adults are just, giving them iPads, giving them phones, and say, go watch videos, or go play Roblox. I don't know if you're familiar with that. That's like the newest little game they're playing online,
I don't know what that is either.
Yeah, my little cousins, man, every time we go out to dinner with them, they're like on the iPad or on the phone just playing this little game. And we're like, what's going on? Like, headphones in and everything. I'm like, what's going on? This is like dinner time. What's going on right now?
Yeah, I think you're right. I owned an ice cream stand, JC's Ice Cream. And when I hired the kids, I used to give them a test. I'd say, so here's $20. My bill's $15.45. What's my change? Can't do it.
Nah, come on. Nah.
Let me have a calculator. Let me have my little phone so I can get the answer. What we're doing is we're taking away the ability to think.
Yeah.
We're taking the ability to reason and to be able to solve problems. Most of the problems are, hello, Google, I had constipation today. What do I do to solve it?
Hi, this is Google. If you really want to solve it, use Sunsweet Prunes or X-Lax.
Shit, who needs it? And that's what's happening. Kids can't think. And that's a dangerous thing, because society ultimately depends, and the future of this country depends on those very kids who are busy. And you're 100%, Mike, right. All they do is sit there. My granddaughters, this shit like this. What have you accomplished? What have you accomplished? And, I have a motto, and I used to say to the kids, every minute I don't do something is a minute I will never get back. Whether I succeed or fail, I can never get that time back. Monique gets mad at me all the time. I'm always doing something, always doing something. But you have to, because life passes by so quickly. Regardless of what you do, your own wrestlers and that you coach, they don't realize that the time they're spending with you is short, because they would go on either to be college wrestlers, professional wrestlers after that, or they'll get out of it. And they should enjoy what they're doing with the time they have. And that's the trouble. Nobody knows how to enjoy anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
you got that right. Yeah. Living in the moment.
We had a hell of a time in Franklin. I think we had a good time.
Oh yeah, yep. And then we'll be back. March, right? Is that the next one?
I got to show the 24th up in Kennebunk for cousin Larry. Tony Alice is going to be up there. I'm going to try to see if I can get a couple of folks to come up and see if they'll donate their time.
Yeah.
Nobody likes to donate their time, but it's autism. It really is a good cause, and they're going to be writing Kenny Bunk. So if I can get these two kids to come in, it'll be kind of nice. And then I got a show the 3rd with Teddy Goods. I don't know if you know Teddy.
Oh, I know Teddy.
He was on the show, yeah. So it's for Kojo Toys. It's a Toys for Tots. So if you bring 2 toys, you get to meet all the stars. And then he's got a poster where we all, what's his name? Oh, God. See, you made me think I lost my track. Spike Dudley's going to be there. The young man from AEW, I can't think of his name right now. He's going to be there. But we're all autographed that. If you get 5 toys, you get a ticket for a drawing, and we make a bobblehead for you. So Teddy's pretty good, and there's a show after that. So, and then I stop. I do Santa Claus, and then right after Christmas, I have 2 shows, and I said I would never do it. January 12th and 13th, one in Franklin and one in Taunton. But I just like to chill through February and then come back. So we'll see. We'll have some fun. It's all about having fun, you know.
Enjoying the life. Yeah. That was the big thing. That's always the big thing now. Having fun, especially when you're out there performing and wrestling, Mikey, in front of a crowd. It's the best thing ever. You know what I mean? It's that's why we do it. You can't get enough about it. Doesn't matter how crazy your day was, if you had a bad week or stuff wasn't going your right. Once you walk through that curtain, whether you're a good guy or a bad guy, it makes everything worth it. You just flip the switch, and it's hard to explain. You got to just do it, and it's hard to give it up.
It's like theater. Once you put the grease paint on your face, you can never get it out of your blood. It's like playing Santa Claus. Once you do it, I've been doing it now for over 30 years. And once you do it, it's kind of like, I say to myself, I said to Monique last year, I don't want to do this. I'm just tired of doing it. Then I get this call. We're raising money for these kids with autism or whatever. We need a Santa Claus. All right, I'll do Santa Claus, you know. And then I'm so happy I did it. You know, I've gone to wrestling shows, and I'm sure you have too, and saying, I don't want to be here. And then all of a sudden, they announce you're out there, and you go, shit, I'm glad I'm here. It just takes away everything that you were worried about. It's now gone. It's just so much fun. And I tell everybody out there, if you can't have fun doing this, don't go out there. Don't go out there. And if you stop believing your own stuff, get out of the business.
Yeah.
But it's fun. Yeah. We have a blast.
Yeah. And I'm sure same thing with your son, John. You know, he's busy acting and everything, but every time he has time, right, he always makes that run back.
That's his first love. And I'll be real honest with you. You know, people will say to me, I just watched something with your son, and he talks about his family, WWE. I said, let me tell you something. What you see is what you get. That's the real deal. And he really does mean that. You know, he really, really, really enjoys WWE. However, like you, Mike, myself, the wave comes in, and when it does, it takes a little sand, and it changes the contour of what we're doing. So things change, but it doesn't mean you forget where you came from. And that's where he came from, and that's where he wants to be. Obviously, he's gone in a different direction. I think a safer direction. I don't know about you. I watch you and Nunzio bump, and some of the other guys I work with, and I'm going, I don't know how much longer your body's going to take this stuff. That's why the Samoan guy, you have to worry. He's just going to use the spike and that. No wrestling, just the spike, and that's it. We'll let them do all the bumping. Bumping. I took 2 bumps that night. That was enough for me. That was enough.
Well, you got the cane, so you can hit people with the cane.
I did it. I kind of hit what's his name, Don Vega. It was kind of a weak, shitty hit, and across it was. That's why I took the bump from him, which was good. We had a lot of fun. That was a good time. I enjoyed it. Yeah. We had fun.
Yeah, and the fans wouldn't forget it. That's the most important thing.
Oh, we're gonna be remembered there for quite a while.
Oh yeah. We fought everywhere in that room. We fought everywhere.
The only thing that they didn't have was tables, and I think if we do something like that again, I think we should have a couple of tables. And I don't know. I've been through them before. I'll probably do it for you. Just gimmicks. Yeah, have a table and just have some fun. But when we got that holy shit chant and we won tables, that had to be reminiscent, at least for Nunzio, of ECW. That was over the top. Over the top.
Because when they were chanting tables, Nunzio was by me. He goes, "Oh, I thought I was done with the tables for a long time ago."
Well, guess what? We're not going to tell them next time.
No, we can't. We can't tell him because then he won't show up. He'll be like, man.
He'll show up.
He'll show up. He'll make me go through it, but it's funny.
No, I'll do it. I'll do it. As long as I land the right way, I'm fine.
Yeah. I'd rather go through the table than the doors. A lot of people go through doors now.
Stupid. Yeah. Tables are easy. No.
Yeah. I guess the doors are cheaper to get, but you can't. The tables are legit.
Well, the masonite doors, and the danger with the masonite doors is when you go through those, masonite doesn't break, it splinters.
Mm-hmm.
So you're really putting your whole body in jeopardy, because when you go through that door, if you don't land just right, and if it's not gimmicked on the other side, it's going to break, and there's a good chance of a piece coming up right on the side, or it's going to cut you open. You don't want that stuff. It's the table, at least you know when you go through. The only thing I worry about when I did tables was that metal ring around the side. Now they use the rubber one, which is a lot better. But no, that was the only thing. It's fun. What the hell? It's fun.
Yeah.
What'd you do last night? Oh, I went through a table. I got punched in the nuts, and we had a good time. Okay,
it was fantastic. I'll do it all over again. Yeah.
Not good.
Yeah. So what is your favorite wrestling memory? It could be from you or your son or just growing up.
Wow, I have so many of those.
You can give us a top 5. We'll take a top 5.
Take the top 5. I guess my first thing would be when Johnny Fabulous really got involved in the professional wrestling business, and they had the opportunity to work with Captain Lou Albano. That was just, I watched him on TV so many times, and I found out a lot about that man. I don't know if you ever read his book, Often Imitated But Never Duplicated. Great human being. Ric Flair, I worked with Rick. I suppose that'd be 2. And people go to me, well, why is it 1, your WWE run? That was truly an honor and a surprise. And I kind of joke about that. You know, I say every time WWE calls me to come in, I know they're calling me for one reason, to get the shit kicked out of me. That's about it. I mean, it's never to win. It's always like, okay, you got to get punched in the eye. You're going to bleed. It doesn't work. So I suppose I moved that to the top, I guess. WWE main event. But I suppose working with the wrestlers, having the opportunity to be, I suppose as a young man, being Italian, meeting one-on-one with the great Bruno Sammartino. And I will tell you this, another human being that I was truly awestruck by and sorry to see the loss was Pat Patterson. What a wonderful story and what a wonderful human being. They didn't come any better. And I really, really mean that. You know, Walt Kowalski. I mean, I could go on and on and on. How do you pick one when God has been so good to me to allow me to have so many?
Right.
Very difficult to weed those out. I work with Kamala, and then he gets sick. So Jim Duggan, another guy that was great to work with. I remember working with Tito Santana. I cut a promo on him about the flying burrito and no green card and stuff. He just laughed it off. He was great. I cut one on Ric Flair, and then I went in the back, and Rick said, "What the F is this? When I see your son, you're in deep shit." I said, "Okay." But I suppose those are the things. Taking Mr. Sacco for Mick Foley, who's a great human being. Mick Foley, I have nothing but good words for Mick. And Ric Flair, when he put the figure 4 on me, the only guy I was ever afraid of was Ken Shamrock.
Oh, I know Ken really well. They call me Mini Shamrock.
Because here it is. It's going to be the ping pong outside the ring after my guy lost. So it's boom, 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 boom. Back in the ring, and he's going to put the ankle lock on me. So when you look at Shamrock, and another great human being, but he's got his eyes like, I'm going to fuck you up. You're done. I'm going to break your ankle. So I'm laying there, and I go, oh, please, God, this is going to hurt, but it's all good for business, right? It's good for business. Next thing I know, I'm being rolled out of the ring. I didn't even feel it. That's how great he is. He was great. So all those memories, put them all together. Pick the best 5 you want. I have a ton of those, but you take what you want. I think WWE, my stint with them, will probably be one that will stand out in my life for a long, long time. For a guy like me from the Indies to do what everybody dreams about, I thank God and I thank all the fans for allowing me that push, and my son and Vince to allow me to get to that point where I could do that. It was great.
Yeah, definitely.
I always bust John when we talk about it, I'll say, just remember one thing, kid. When I wrestled Randy Orton in the main event, get one thing straight. 463,000 more people tuned in to see me get my ass kicked. Just remember that.
He's the ratings. You get the house. Thanks for the house.
There were tweetings. Look, they're tweeting John Cena. I said, oh, no, you Mr. Cena. Oh,
You Mr. Cena.
They don't know no better. That's why. It's like, okay, what the hell? We can do it. Oh, God.
Awesome. Yeah. Great.
You really can't be like me asking you what is your most memorable 5 matches or memorable things in pro wrestling? What would you answer? Let's turn the tables.
You gonna turn the tables? All right. The first one that was I had a match with Fred Rosser, Darren Young. He was a match with him. It was in New Jersey, and it was like a high school rivalry. It was like my town and his town coming all together in this one venue. It was at a Centenary College. That one was great. It was just it would be like rival football teams playing each other in the same arena. Oh man, we went like 30 minutes. That was a great one. That's up there. Another one would probably be when me and Nunzio first tagged. That one was great because we always knew each other. And like he's my godfather at this point. But it was funny. He goes. I looked at you in the ring. He goes, I swear it was me. It's like a young version of me. Yeah. But you're right. There's so many you can't really put a label to them because it's like there's so many moments that just wrap in that same feeling of you going out in that curtain. It's that same feeling you get. No matter if it's 5 fans or 50,000 fans, right? No, it doesn't matter if you're wrestling at TD Garden or the KeyBank Arena or the Prudential Center or wrestling at the VFW or at the Franklin Community Center. It's that same feeling, and you just got to turn it on.
So let's get Mike involved in this because he's just sitting there going, Marlon, what's going on over here? So Mike, my question to you would be, because you're not in the business, but you're obviously a fan. So what would be your 5 greatest matches that you can remember? The 5 greatest that you would trade anything for?
For professional wrestling?
Yeah, what the hell else are we talking about?
Yeah. Well, college
I don't go to those clubs that have poles and, I don't do that stuff. But if that's what you want to talk about, I mean.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. College wrestling, his favorite match is when I All-American in Cleveland.
Yes.
That's his favorite.
So what about pro wrestling? What are your 5 great matches?
Let me think. I would have to say seeing The Undertaker lose was I actually kind of enjoyed that. I'm not going to lie. I know everybody hates it. I know everybody hates it. But it was one of those things where I'm like, why is this guy still winning? Why does he win every year at wrestle? Like, take him out, please.
This guy, unbelievable.
Start your car because it's gonna blow up. Good time. And you're happy about that.
He's gonna be the only Samoan wrestler to lose all the time.
I will say this: that Bill Moody, who was a very close friend, God rest his soul, Paul Bearer, he and I were talking about the Undertaker's streak, and I think that he and I and every fan in the world felt the same way. It was time to end the streak, but not at WrestleMania.
Mm-hmm.
I think that Lesnar should have beat him in Raw the next night, but let him have the glory of an unbeaten streak at WrestleMania. He at least deserved that for all he did for all he does and is still doing for the business. What's your next big match that you want to chop the shit out of? Go ahead.
I would say of the recent ones, I really like the promo. I know some people it's decisive, but I like the promo they did with what's his name? Oh my God. His son started wrestling and he's with what's her name? The Australian.
Oh, Dominic.
Yeah, Dominic and his WWE wife, girlfriend, Dommy Mommy.
Rhea Ripley?
Yeah, Rhea Ripley. Yeah.
I don't know how you get up to the 10 in the morning, but wow, she'd take you right out. Bang! Okay, keep going. That's 2.
That's 2. I would say if we go back to the heyday, I used to watch your son a bit, and seeing him and Randy Orton go at it, like I was firmly a Randy Orton hater, firmly, just because he would wrestle with John Cena. And I mean that seriously. I mean that so seriously. I'm not trying to butt anyone's buns or anything. Like, there was only like, I'm not a huge fan, but when I did watch, it was like, all right, where's John Cena at? Where's the American at? Where's the hero at?
He's supposed to be a heel, you know that.
Yeah.
But
John Cena does not come off as, at least when I was watching, he was like the guy. He was like the hero to me. I don't know. Randy Orton came off as the heel to me all the time, right? Him, Batista felt heelish at times. I don't know. That's how I saw it. And then what else? I think there was a triple threat match that Triple H was in that I really enjoyed watching.
He was trained by Walter. He's a Walter guy.
Paul Levesque, trained by Walter Kowalski.
Walter trained a lot of the greats. Yeah.
Other good stars. Yeah, Walter was a no-nonsense person, but he made sure, and he loved the business. And he would have no qualms about saying, Mike, you got the look, but you ain't going to make it. Great guy. He was a great guy. So who else? You got anything else you want to tear apart in professional wrestling? You've done so well now about nuts. Keep going. Why not?
Maybe he's going to go through the table. We'll throw him through the table.
Amen. I get the great gimmick. We'll just pick him out of the crowd. Nobody will know. We'll use him as a boy.
Yeah. Dress him up in a Patriots. Yeah,
we'll tear the shirt right off him. That'd be awesome. That's good.
I'm not putting on Patriots gear. I'm sorry.
So you're not a fan anymore? You don't follow pro wrestling? You kind of wore off?
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say, like, I've never been, like, super huge into it, truth be told. Never been super into it. But I have tuned in. I did have, like, I did have, like, an Undertaker, like my parents would buy us, like, toys, and sometimes we got, like, these, like, giant, like, larger than normal, like, doll, like, not action figures for, like, Triple H and The Undertaker. We would play some of the video games back then, too, as a kid. Like, you do the career mode where you become a wrestler as well. I would say I've tuned in a little bit recently, just because there's been more, like, wrestling stars in there. Like, for example, Lesnar's been in a bit. They were going to get, I think, Gabe Stevenson.
Gable Stevenson, yeah.
Yeah, Gable Stevenson, the world champ. I don't know. I know he hasn't really, I haven't seen him do anything yet, but the fact that he got signed was something like, oh, okay, what's going on here? You know, what are they going to do with him?
And then you watch my matches, of course, right?
Yes, of course.
Unbelievable. Doesn't mention my match once.
I thought for sure you just said John Cena and Edge. I think they had great chemistry.
Yeah.
Edge and Cena were just, and CM Punk was the same way. And so was Orton. They kind of read each other. But I always remember Edge and Cena. That was, that'll go down in history.
Yeah, that's the one I was going to say. Because didn't he went to your house, right? Wasn't that one of the segments?
Yes, he did come to my house, and Bruce Pritchard was in charge of that production, and I remember getting the feedback on that. Vince simply said, "It's the worst piece of shit I've ever seen. What are we going to do with it?" But guess what? Every year they show the same thing. Cena's down, Cena's down, Cena's down. And what do I get out of that? Nothing. That was fun when they came to the house. It was great. I'm kind of guy that has to have at least some kind of a script or something to do, and nobody seemed to know what to do. And we had to like 3, 4, 5 takes. And I remember with Edge kicked the door open. Remember how at the beginning he actually broke the wall behind it. He was so apologetic. And then when I said we could do the slap across the face, he said, I can't do that. I said, well, if you're gonna hit me, I'm gonna hit you. So did that.
That was actually at your house, huh? Was that the one?
My house in West
That's why he was apologizing. He broke his house, his wall.
That was not well. Anyway, Vince didn't like it, but it got a lot of mileage out of it. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
Vince is genius when it comes to putting stuff together. Even my son will say, the old man's a little vaudevillian, and Edge was talking about it and said, well, it got a little out of hand. Cena's father kind of went a little too deep in. It was like, who cares? We had fun doing it, but it wasn't good. Vince didn't like it, but they used it.
Yeah, everyone remembers it. Yeah. That's
great.
like,
oh, you. Oh, you do? Who am I? You're the guy, Randy, who got kicked in the head. See? Nobody cares about my name. All they know is I got kicked in the head. That's it.
I didn't know they actually used your house. That's great.
Yeah, they did. They came in. They used the house. We didn't know what to say, what to do. It was supposed to be all about the thing at Boston Garden, and Cena was going to win 1, 2, 3 at SummerSlam and all this stuff. And nobody had any ideas. It was just like, he just kind of ran away, I guess. And maybe I did go over a little overboard, but it was my idea for the slap. But like Vince said, I don't know why you couldn't edit it, but they used the best parts. Edge and Vince were smart enough to take that and use it to their advantage. So that was a lot of fun. And then I remember the match in Canada when John won the belt there. They were on the ladder, and I remember John shaking his head because he had Edge on his shoulders, and he was going to put Edge through those tables. And Edge went right through. Bang, 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 bang. Edge's mother got rest of soul. I don't know if she's still alive or not, but she was behind me, and she actually had a concussion. It was out cold. Mm-hmm. But you try to take care of everybody, but there's some things that we do in that ring that we shouldn't do. And one of them is go through tables off a 16-foot ladder, right? But Adam's back. He's with AEW. He's doing a great job. So we'll see.
Yeah. See, Mikey, you can't. It's real. You get knocked out, man. There's a couple times
hey,
you get.
I've read.
Go on YouTube and see Orton punch Cena's dad, and the next time I see you guys, tell me if the kick was for real or not, or if I leaned into it. I'll take responsibility if I was wrong, but some guy said, "Oh no, he was taking care of you." I guess he did take care of me.
he took care of you really well.
He took care of
you. He stopped when he came with the kick. He stopped, and I guess he was going to go up or down, but he just followed through. And I just kind of thought that somebody of that caliber would have come through and not delivered such a heavy kick. Even if I leaned in, you can still back it up. But let me know. Take a look. It'd be kind of fun.
Yeah. But
so what you're saying is that he's too skilled to have done what he did unless it was intentional, is what you're telling me.
No, sometimes when you're trying to take it easy, it doesn't work out.
All I know is we went over that 4 or 5 times. When I came over the rail, they thought I broke my neck, but I did it. I went over, and then I said, "I'll just go down and I'll see you coming, and I'll sell the kick." He said, "No, put your hand up this way. It'll be better if you don't see it coming." Well, I should have known then that, as we say in the FBI, right? Yeah. But I was stupid. So needless to say, the Patriots won that night because I was a football. Hey, it was fun, I guess. Yeah. I don't remember too much. I was out cold. They took me on a stretcher. I guess they did an MRI, and I joke about it all the time because when I was the assessor, so here I am, and they're doing a follow-up on the wrestling things. WWE was doing it. Cena's dad is still recovering, blah, blah. So here I am. I have a neck brace and black eyes at City Hall. So the mayor calls me upstairs, and Bill Manzi was the mayor, and he goes, "So are you okay?" I said, "Yeah, why?" He said, "Look." I said, "Yeah, but you used to see the taxpayer." So that was enough. It was like, done. I had to put that shit for 2 weeks. 2 weeks, my eyes are black. I had a concussion in my neck. I'm going, this is great. And here they are on the WWE pages. Cena's dad is okay. Questionable. What will happen? I'm going. But it was fun. It was fun. It was great. It really, and I thank Vince and all the talent there for being so kind to me, and all the young men and women who allowed me to be part of their lives and come up with them. I couldn't have done anything without them, believe me. I'm just a little pimp on the ass of progress, hoping nobody spills the Clearasil. That's my motto.
Yeah, it's your passion, man. You're passionate about it, and
Well, when it gets to be my age, you got to be passionate about something, right? I mean, it's like, I just got to watch what I do for a while. I got to be careful, but at least I didn't do an attitude adjustment that night.
Yeah, they were looking for it. They wanted it.
We could have probably done it, but I had to be a different type of person. I couldn't see. It's not I guess a heel could do it, but then how do you follow through with it? Because then somebody's got to take you out. Obviously.
Yeah, someone's got to do it to you after.
Okay, Randy, we'll talk about that next segment. Right? Yeah, you guys are awful. Are you gonna bring Mike to the next show?
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what he's got going.
Yeah, come on down, have some fun, man.
Yeah.
I might be down. Yeah, let's see what date it is. We'll talk about it. Yeah.
Have a great time, and you get free macaroni and meatballs, right?
Yeah.
You know how to. This is the breakfast buffet. You know how to persuade
Yeah,
them, man.
yeah.
Oh, here we go.
They got salad too, Mikey, if you're trying to be healthy that day.
Okay, do you want me to not come? Do you want me to come or not come, bro?
Yeah.
No, don't forget. You think I eat salad?
They got Big Ziti. They had Big Ziti, didn't they have Big Ziti?
Now you're talking my language again.
Yeah.
You know what I say when they say I've lost almost 38 pounds, and they say to me, you got to eat more salad. I said, listen, let's get one thing straight. If I'm going to eat like a rabbit, I want to act like a rabbit. And they just say, no more salad. That's it. I'm done. It's like, you're finished. I get no more salad. Monique buys the salad. It's over. But I'd love to see you at a show. It'd be kind of fun. We can find a way to work them in, have some fun with it.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, you can't be shy, Mikey. You gotta be.
I gotta be.
We'll bring him in. Yeah, we could, like you say, we could leave him in the audience, and when we do the thing, if we could have somebody to pick on, we'll just pick on him. He's got a Patriot shirt or Red Sox or whatever. We'll just tear the thing off of him, pull the old gimmick, and then we won't have to hit him or touch him. Just humiliate the shit out of him.
I can take a punch.
Oh, you gotta love it. You gotta love it.
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah. Mike, you got anything else?
No, I mean, I think that's it. I mean, I guess the last we gotta finish on is what's the jazz tip of the day?
Yeah, I do a jazz tip of the day every day. Mr. Zena, you got a good tip or a motto or quote that you use to kind of motivate people or get the people going? Mine is good enough is the death of greatness. Because if you always look to be good, you're never, it's always going to be good. It's never going to be great. So do you have something like that for the people out there?
My only thing is what I have on my $1 million bills. It's good to be great, but it's great to be fabulous.
There you go. Awesome.
I love it.
Yeah. Well, we appreciate you. We appreciate your time, and we'll love to have you back anytime you want, especially.
And I mean this. You're a brother, your familia, anytime, Mike. Ray, if you need me, just text me. Let's have some fun, have a bunch of questions, and if you even can bring some fans in, we might have some fun with that. So whatever you guys want to do, I'm down on it. And you know what? If you really want to have some fun, I'll be in the Santa Claus suit on the 2nd. We can have Santa instead of Cena.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
No, I get in trouble. No. I probably ruined Christmas for a lot of kids.
For all the kids. Daddy, why are you standing on the screen right now?
I want to thank you both. You made my night, really and truly. It's been a fun. I hope I've answered your questions. We've had a lot of fun doing it. If you have any more, fire them off now. Otherwise, I'm going to start cooking salmon with pasta and green beans with garlic butter.
Oh, there we go.
Okay,
that sounds
okay.
That sounds great.
Again,
I gotta come over to your house for dinner then.
Believe me, the both of you, if you're ever this way, let me know a day ahead of time. The door is open. We'll cook here. I smoke a lot of meats out there. That's another. Watch my YouTube channel, Catching Up in the Kitchen with John Cena Sr.
There we go.
I just did some ribs.
I love the food
rubs.
Channels.
Yeah, I'm having fun. We're going to do chicken wings and pig's wings. Ever had pig's wings?
No, actually,
I haven't. No.
There you go. See? Ha ha. We're going to cook them. And a pig's wing is very simple. It's at the bottom of the shank. There's a little piece of, it's almost like a miniature ham. It's got a little bone that looks like a wing bone. And you smoke those, and then you coat them with barbecue sauce. Or, I just found a new sauce to put on the ribs and the pig's wings. It's habanero candy barbecue. It is unbelievable. No heat, but delicious. So if you come, we'll either barbecue or we'll go to the Kowloon and get some great food. I'm sure you've been there, right, Ray? You've been there?
Oh, yep. You
haven't been there, right, Mike?
No, I haven't.
All right.
Oh, it's
Ray
great.
here, and you and I go to the Kowloon. All three of us will go. We'll smoke some ribs. I don't care. We'll have some fun.
Yeah,
And I got a pizza oven out there. We'll make pizza.
There you go. That's the living. That's the living right there. That's the New England living. Awesome.
And maybe we get Monique to work. She doesn't do much around here. High class Brooklyn. That's it.
Yeah.
Something spilled on the floor. Call the maid. I don't have a maid. Well, maybe the dog will look it up. No, it doesn't work
The
that
dog.
way. I'll show you this picture. Oh, my God. See that when you get old? This is the first one he started with.
Oh, wow.
See what it says?
To the old man, there is no substitution for hard work.
There you go. So that's the tip of the day. There's your tip of the day. How's that?
Substitution for hard work. There we go.
Yep, that's exactly right, because there isn't. I tell that to everybody. You can only, and there's only one person in this world, one thing in this world that can defeat you, and that's you. You're the only person that can defeat yourself. Otherwise, if you think positive and act positive, you will succeed, and I don't care what it is you do. You will always come out on top. And people need to understand that. Do not defeat yourself. It's like people saying, I can't. We haven't even tried. So at least try.
Mm-hmm.
So don't be defeated by you. You know, and like he says, always calls me the old man, there's no substitute for hard work. I guess that proves it. See, that's why I keep my shirt on when I wrestle. I don't want to embarrass the kid. Guys, it's been a pleasure.
Yeah.
Anything else you need, you just do it anytime you want. It's truly an honor. I can't thank you guys enough. I really mean it. From me to you, have a good night. God bless. Take care.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a nice night. Don't flip yourself. Goodbye now. Have a good one. See you later, guys. Bye-bye.
Thank
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Do it. Mike has a call. Major decision, 14-4.